Don't forget to hit that follow button. I normally don't fuck up this bad, but it is our 10th stream, so
Before a beer.
I just need more beer. And speaking of beer, maybe we just should start drinking, because why not?
Yeah.
Who wants to go first?
I'll go first.
All right.
I'll keep it easy.
Very cool. Let's flip into this real fast. All right. Very nice.
Alrighty.
Ready
Good?
to roll.
All right. Ooh, that's choking. Well, there's my review.
Dun, dun, dun.
I'm drinking it's a Trout River Brewing Company in Springfield, Vermont. It is it's called the Rainbow Red. It's a red ale. I haven't had this beer in quite a while. This beer was out of commission for about 2 years. The brewery took some damage during Hurricane Irene, and that blew through here. And the owners were sort of selling the brewery at the time. And I believe 3 or 4 years ago, I guess a couple bought it from the original owner, who started the brewery about 18 years ago. But they bought the recipes, all their equipment. They moved it to about 2 hours away from the original brewery. And instead of doing kegs, they're just doing cans and bottles. So, and I haven't had this beer in forever, and last time I had it, it was very meh. So I'm sort of was more interested to try it now that I've seen it in a can and in a different packaging. I believe it's under the style guidelines as a Irish Red. So it should be a little sweeter, more have sort of a thick mouthfeel. Not as much a hop forward beer as much a malt beer. So let's see it. Whoop. And it's overcarbonated.
Whoa.
That's good.
It's a good
First
start.
step. Yep. So I'm gonna let that sort of settle out. Aroma-wise, very malty. Not a whole lot of hops. A little bit, I don't know, very sort of thin hop note. Sort of more the bitterness you get, not much of a floral aspect, not any sort of sense of an IPA, sort of any sort of aroma hops are in there. It's usually not to style to put a whole lot of aroma hops to smell it. Better. Better than the last time I had it, which I'm very happy about because, again, I don't want to buy 2 beers that I would not enjoy. Oh, God. It is overcarbonated. So when I get to the beer itself, it is very flat, which is, I guess, fine to the style, too. But it is sort of red to a sort of light amber. Flavor, caramel, sweet, no hops at all. Not a whole lot of bitterness, so it's sort of teetering the line of just sort of, I don't know, overly sweet. There is sort of a buttery note to it, which is, I guess, fitting per the style. It's sort of more viscous on the tongue, which is interesting. It sort of lingers a little bit. Overall, it's pretty good. I guess that butteriness sort of fits with the sort of a caramel malt flavor you would get. But sort of a lemony flavor too. I guess that could be the hop flavor I'm getting through, or that's the yeast. One of the two. I guess. Well, according to the BJCP website, which I'm keep referring to when I look over here, they say the beer should have a high to or low to moderate ester flavor, which is an off flavor of a yeast, which could be that sort of lemony sort of tartness to it. So from what I'm reading to what I'm tasting, it fits pretty well. I would like to see a little more hops in it, but other than that, I think it's fine, and I would definitely buy again.
So it's a hell of a lot better than what you were drinking during the last time you had it.
Yes. I mean, if they fix the carbonation issue, it'd be a whole lot better. Because important, again, it's already sort of going crazy.
Wow. I wonder if it's just that can, though. I mean, or maybe it's just...
Another.
Oh, yeah, another. Right, there you go.
It could be. I believe this is probably one of their first batches back out there, so I'm wondering if they're sort of figuring things out. These are new owners. I don't know what their brewing experience are,
Right.
Now I know when I started working at a brewery at Northshire, my carbonation was through the roof as well. So that's probably something they'll figure out within the next year or so, and then I'll probably try it again. But it's definitely a good one. Sort of fits all the notes I expected, better than it was before. Last time it was very sort of cardboard, one note for oxidized beer, but then again, those were in bottles.
Right.
Where, once again, the way they bottle beer, it sort of sprays out, or it also can oxidize in the bottle. So a lot of sort of misfortunes in the past, but this one seems a whole lot better.
Knob question: overcarbonated, too much foamy, basically right.
Mm-hmm.
Too much foam, basically right. Yeah, overcarbonated is too much foam, basically.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you guys probably can't see it at all. Kind of. You can sort of see sort of those little bubbles sort of shooting up the side. It's also like well, a lot of CO2 is like dropping out of the beer extremely fast too. It's sort of not really stable. A good sort of rightly carbonated beer would hold it in there a little better. You would feel it when you drink it, opposed to when you drink it, it's gone flat.
You know, it's interesting because you brought up the how a new Chef Lethal, thank you for the follow. I do appreciate that, man. Welcome to the Hooligans. I don't know, as Kate, I'm kind of made up that name. It is. I'm kind of a hooligan myself, so who the hell knows? But you were saying it because there was a brewery in New Jersey called River Horse, and it's been through like 3 or 4 different owners, and every single time you made a stream. I'm so happy you made a stream, man. Thank you again for coming and hanging out, brother. Especially with the kids. I mean, you got a lot on your hand right now. So, but yeah, whoever is owning River Horse right now, you know, they've taken some of the recipes that they had, and similar, right? And actually have kicked it up hugely. You know, and this is several years ago. But now it's probably one of my favorite local breweries around. You know, barring the fact that I also have some friends who work for it, you know, as well.
Yeah,
so
that helps.
But they've taken a lot of risks. They've done a lot of good beers. So beer, yes, beer is good. Ranger, beer is good. And dude, your name is so freaking long. I'm just gonna tell you right now. Anyway. So, all right. Do you want to go next, or want me to go next?
You go ahead, and when you're starting to wind down, I'll go grab mine.
Okay, right. Oh, right. Cool. All right, well, let me flip over here real fast and take off the rules, put on the beer. Oddly enough, you know, I was just mentioning River Horse. One of the guys was the head brewer at River Horse. Started up this actual company here, the Chamonix Creek.
Boy.
A friend of mine, Jeremy, great guy. I've worked a bunch of brew fests with him. He actually a mutual childhood friends. This is the first time I'm actually having Mudbank Milk Stout. I've had a ton of other beers. One of their ones you've probably seen me drinking on a few other streams before, but their Croydon Cream Ale comes in a can. All their stuff, most of the majority, comes in a can. Then you'll get these 22 ounces of the special ones. So, but yeah. So, have you guys ever heard of Budweiser? Pretty fancy stuff. No. Away with you and your Budweiser.
One of those imports? Belgian beer?
Belgian beer, yeah. All right. So this is a stout. This is a winter oatmeal sweet stout. Technically, it's classified as a milk stout. It's about 6.5%. I don't know what to expect from it, so we're just gonna crack it open real fast here. Not too much carbonation, obviously, because it's a stout. I've got my fancy Guinness glass today. If this was an Imperial, I probably would do this in a tulip. I mean, obviously it's dark. It's a stout. So, let me get a full pint here.
And more properly carbonated.
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, you can see how it's not as much as obviously as Drew's beer there. So
still there.
So I mean, on the scent here, you know, I can smell. It smells like chocolate, but I'm not expecting chocolate. A little roasty, obviously because it's stout. I mean, the chocolate.
Have you had a milk stout before?
I have.
Okay.
But it's not. This is very light. I like it though. They actually have a bourbon barrel aged version of this, which I was looking for.
Oh no!
Couldn't find it, unfortunately. Maybe I can actually talk to Jeremy. I would actually
dangerous.
consider that a different beer, since this is just a regular stout. There's a little bit of breadiness to it, but I think that's probably the oatmeal. So wait, for an oatmeal stout, and since you're like a phenomenal brewer, hell of a lot better than I am, Drew. So, do they actually put oatmeal in this to get that, or is it from, like?
Absolutely.
Okay. And what does it kind of partake? What kind of does it give to the beer then?
You're literally adding oat flakes, so your instant oatmeal rolled oats. That's what they're putting in. That's
Okay.
a part of the grain bill that you mash with. What you get with that is a very high level of proteins. It will add sort of a thickness. It's more adds to the texture and body of the beer.
Okay.
It's going to make it very thick. It sort of makes it sort of velvety texture in comparison to like a very bubbly hard beer, like an IPA kind of thing.
Okay.
But usually when they brew, it's very difficult to brew with because it gums up. Like all the sort of when you make oatmeal, when you're just using oats and hot water, it's gummy. It's very thick.
Yeah.
It sort of adds that sort of texture to the beer a little bit. It adds a little bit of sugar, a little bit of fermentability, but it adds a lot more in texture and sort of leftover sweetness.
Okay.
But yeah, usually just regular old oatmeal.
Huh. Not like the instant oatmeal you're saying, right? Or
Well, not like from like your little packet with a little powder sugar.
Yeah.
It's the one that comes in the cylinder that you pour it, the little rolled oats.
okay.
Same thing.
You
It's
know,
not malted at all.
as I'm drinking this, there is. I would say this is probably. I'm not sure if it's the bottle, but I'm getting a tingle on my tongue. So there is a bit of carbonation on this.
Mm.
And most stouts that I've had recently, you don't really get that from here. It's still fantastic. It's got a really smooth flavor. Again, this is a local brewery. You probably can't find this anywhere outside of PA in New York. But again, with setting up of our eventually having our beer trade, this is one of the things with local beers that you guys have and I have. We can flip back and forth. And I talked to Drew earlier today about that when we meet up at PAX East. I'm bringing a bunch of beer local from our place. He can bring some from his, and we can just swap it there. But this is definitely very drinkable. Again, with 6.5, and I know it says 6.7 up there, but 6.5%. It's not as sweet as I thought it was. What's up?
No, I was gonna say how sweet is it, but you just said it. Just answered
yeah, it's not as sweet as I thought. Right?
Okay.
It's not it's when I think a sweet stout, like a milk stout, I think it's going to be a little bit more like not like candy, but it's
chocolate milkish.
Yeah, but it's not like that at all. It's very mellow.
Okay. Because usually in a milk stout, the way they would brew it is it's a stout essentially.
Right.
And they add lactose sugar to the batch, which doesn't ferment with regular brewer's yeast. So there's a residual sweetness to it.
Right.
And it's lactose being like a milk sugar. That's where sort of the term milk stout comes from. But yeah, it's it usually comes off a little more creamier. But if I don't know if they're using lactose sugar or they're using the oatmeal as the residual sweetness.
This is probably one of his, if I'm not mistaken, because when he left River Horse and went and started his own brewery, he had a recipe for a stout, a milk stout, and this might be a newer version of this, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
I'd like to see if I can get him on here. Really great guy. But I would say since this is pretty cold still, and once this warms up, I'm sure this is definitely gonna become a little bit more, sweeter as it goes.
Yeah. A little more aromatic as well, probably.
Oh yeah, no, it's the scent's still changing. I can still smell like. The only way I can classify it is bready, from that oatmeal. But maybe I'm doing it wrong. I'm saying it wrong.
You probably got it.
PAX yeast. No. I just reading the comments finally.
There you go.
PAX yeast. PAX yeast. Well, that's how you would package your beers you're gonna send off, right?
There you go. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, yeast sample, live yeast samples. But I would definitely try this again. I think the carbonation is more than I was expecting, but it's still a fantastic beer. I mean, and everything that these guys have done is pretty epic. And I'm not just saying that because, I know Jeremy. I mean, if I didn't like it, I would tell him, and I have, my opinion, because I'm pretty opinionated. But yeah, I like this. I may save a little bit for Anne, probably not, but we'll see. TJ, you wanna do your review or?
Yeah, sorry, I'm just finishing a text real quick. My bad.
No worries, that's cool.
No problem, Hollywood.
It's Carrie Fisher texting him from the grave.
Oh gosh, I'd be pretty spooked.
No, this is a good beer though. I like this brewery. There's a lot of good breweries around by me. One of my other favorites, which I'd love to get these guys on here, from Vault Brewing Company. They're out of Yardley, PA, and they do some fantastic beer. I remember when they first opened, they did say that we walked in, it was just a brew pub. They're actually starting to bottle, which is fantastic. I'm pretty excited about that. But it's they are they've done a lot of good stuff. One of their signature beers is a sweet potato beer. So
I've heard about that.
And I've never had a sweet potato beer before that, so it was pretty cool. You set, TJ, or?
Yeah, I'm ready whenever now.
Okay, cool. There you
go. All right. Tonight I'm doing one similar to the one that I reviewed. What was that? 2 weeks ago?
Mm-hmm.
Kind of.
Yeah, 2 weeks. 2 weeks ago. It's a Mocha Porter by, I'm gonna get the name right, Rogue Ales out of Newport, Oregon.
Oh boy.
So
Rogue.
Show you the artwork.
Rogue hype. We used to have a hat within reach.
So we'll open this one. Got the same glass as last time because it's my only beer themed glass.
Attaboy.
I have a ton. I'll send you some.
Right off the bat, this one seems a little bit lighter. Yeah, this one's lighter than the bourbon barrels stout that I had. More of a brown tint to it than a black tint.
And this is the Mocha, correct?
Yeah, this is a Mocha.
This is one of their flagships.
Is it?
Yeah.
I just went to the liquor barn tonight and made the 6-pack out of what looked interesting, and this one caught my eye.
Nice.
So I'd say this one definitely. I remember the last one that I tried, the bourbon barrel one, definitely had more of a pronounced chocolate and coffee sort of smell to it. This one, I'm not getting that as much. I mean, I don't know really how to distinguish whether it's like a hoppiness I'm smelling out of it or what, but I know I'm not smelling a sweetness from it. But let's see how it tastes.
And to compare this beer from last review, this is about half the percentage in alcohol.
Oh yeah, definitely.
It's what?
I believe it was like 11 something before. Now it's 5.3. So maybe every flavor is a little subdued this time.
Yeah. Is this one only a 5? It doesn't say on here what it is. I figured it was going to be about the same. But now that I've tasted it, I do taste the chocolate in it. It's definitely like a dark chocolate, not a milk chocolate. Not as smooth as the last one either. Definitely more of a hoppiness to it, more of a carbonation. I don't know. It's not bad, but it's not as I don't like it as much as I did the bourbon barrel stout, which I happened to pick up a 4-pack of while I was there too.
Nice.
I walked in and I saw it and I was like, "Hey, get some of that up."
My old friend, we meet again.
Yeah, it's my winter go-to now.
Nice. There you go. That'll keep you warm, definitely.
Yeah.
Like, how's the is there a whole lot of coffeeness to it being a mocha porter?
Yeah, that's the question.
I think because if I remember correctly with the last one, the chocolate definitely overpowered the coffee. I definitely taste more coffee in this one.
Like a coffee bitterness?
Yeah, definitely. It's not like I do get hints of chocolate in it, but the coffee is definitely a lot more present in this one. Yeah, I feel like I'm kind of having like I wouldn't say it doesn't like it says mocha, and like if you have like a mocha, it doesn't like usually those are more chocolatey than they are coffee based. This is like the opposite of that. This is definitely more. You can taste more of the coffee bean in it.
No, is it bitter or is it like a?
It has like a slight bitterness to it.
Okay.
But it's not like I'd say the bitterness. It's more of like a black coffee bitterness.
Yeah, sort of a sharper.
Instead of a hop bitterness. So. And yeah, like I'll have to keep an eye on it as it warms up to see if the smell or the taste changes. But
it probably will. As soon as it gets a little warmer, like most beers, if you have like serve them at room temperature, you'll get a hell of a lot more flavor coming out of it. So how would you get a coffee chocolate flavor in beer? That's a good question. So
how would you get chocolate coffee flavor in beer?
Yep.
Pretty simple. Do you want me to answer this?
You can add coffee. I mean, that's one way. I've done.
You can add coffee in any stage of the brewing process.
Yep.
You cannot screw it up.
You can even add chocolate if you really wanted to. It'd add more sugar for the yeast to eat. But it doesn't do anything to the yeast, right? I mean, it's not. Nope. It's just going to process it like any other sugar.
Yeah. Well, you can also do. You can go as far as grinding the coffee and putting it in with the grains when you mash.
Okay.
It'll add color because it's coffee. One of my friends did this crazy idea. Oh, actually, I think 6 Point Brewing Company did this too. They made a cream ale, your typical sort of Genesee cream ale, clear if it's a lager, and then adds coffee beans to the secondary fermentation. At that point, it's cold enough that it doesn't add any color to the beer. You just get the coffee aroma and flavor. Oh, it looks just like a regular cream ale. It looks like a regular old like Pabst or anything like that, but it tastes like almost like a stout because it has like coffee in there.
That's interesting because I've had beers at our local pub, right, where they say it's like a coffee, not an IPA, but it's like coffee something. I can't remember what it was, and then but then it's again it's not this color, it's not soaking up any of the.
It's closer to this color.
Yeah, it's closer to that color or even lighter, know. But it's just full on coffee, So you're saying that if you add it into after in the secondary fermenter, since it's at the temperature, room temperature or colder, it's not going to take any of the color.
You'll get out ever so slightly, but it won't make a huge difference.
Holy shit! All right.
And I believe it adds. It's like if you used roasted barley.
Yeah.
That adds a red color opposed to using a chocolate barley, which is a brown color.
Right.
So
you would get some that chocolate like notes from the chocolate bar, like the roasted barley.
A little bit, yeah.
Deep
You'll get. I believe chocolate's more ashy flavor. It's rounded off like a coffee or your roasted barley.
Yeah, this is getting a lot sweeter, by the way, and the carbonation's kind of died off, which is nice. So. I've done beers. One of our staple beers that my brother Scott B, who's my other brother Jeff, who was on one of the streams a while back, hasn't been on since. But we always do a milk stout. Then we do the cold fermenting. In the secondary, we add the whole coffee beans. We don't grind them, and we leave it for like about 2 weeks, and we take out the little bag of the coffee beans, and it. For some reason, maybe it's just the temperature of my basement, but the beers never go beyond hey, what's up, Diet Toaster? How are you, sir? It never gets above like 5% in any time we've ever done. But it's so I like that because it becomes then a session, basically a session coffee stout, milk stout, which is fantastic, and I love that. I haven't brewed that in a while, which maybe that's what we'll brew. Hey, Crowded Kitchen, how are you, man?
Hey, Crowded Kitchen.
Maybe that's what we'll brew coming January. I have to talk to Scott about that, and I don't know. We'll either do it at my house or his house. We'll see.